Animation is cinema, and the Oscar award-winning Spider-Man movie, Into the Spiderverse, proves it, being a visual masterpiece. With its sequel, Across the Spiderverse, coming out, I really wanted to revisit the original to see how it uses animation as a medium to enhance the viewing experience. This is the cinematography of Spider-Man Into the Spiderverse. So, every Spider-Man has an inner voice called the Spidey sense that guides their characters, alerting them of their surroundings. This inner voice is loud, and to represent how loud it is, the artists of this movie use color and text to visually depict it. In the shot, Miles' anxiety due to his new Spidey sense and feeling of being overwhelmed by it and his other new powers is represented by turning the world around him blue. But then the text "Look Out" appears on the screen behind him. This text is his Spidey sense literally telling him to look out. There are also visual cues like the background changing color from green and purple to red and blue when OG Spider-Man sees him, showing that he can tell that they are the same. Also, if you've seen Across the Spiderverse, you know that this green and purple is actually foreshadowing what was supposed to happen to Miles before he was bit by the radioactive spider. But I'm not going to spoil that here. The red and blue are Spider-Man's colors, showing his transition into becoming Spider-Man using color alone. During key action points in the movie, there are standout frames where the colors change for a moment and the background disappears. These frames are very reminiscent of pop art in color and texture. Pop art was a 1950s art movement inspired by comic books, advertising, and mass-produced products. It is characterized by bright colors and comic book textures. You can see the similarities in these frames to these art pieces. These frames add impact to certain shots as well as style and visual flair. A lot of the action in this movie is led by tracking shots, where the camera follows the character during a movement. But because this is animation, the camera can be literally anywhere. This allows the camera to fly around the sky, tracking Miles and the other Spider people as they swing across New York. It's very visually impressive, and really shows how useful animation is as a medium when you can have complicated shots like this. Spider-Verse speeds up footage to show the passing of time through time-lapse. When Miles is spraying graffiti in the subway, we watch him without it taking hours. This is also used when going from night to day, showing Miles sleeping and his roommate playing video games all night. I wish more movies did this. You can show us interesting stuff using time-lapse, but a lot of directors are scared to use it. I'm glad Spider-Verse embraces it and uses it in a creative way multiple times. Spider-Verse takes inspiration from comic books in a lot of ways visually, but most importantly in my opinion is the composition. A lot of times, the screen will be divided into panels to fit multiple shots on the screen at once. Again, a very cool visual technique, but also a good way to get information across quickly without having to spend more time separating the shots. Another thing about composition in this film is the way it shows division and emotional rifts. This shot of Jeff talking to Miles has the wall literally between them, dividing them, showing how their relationship isn't perfect and has its issues. Unless this was a set, a shot like this would be impossible in live action, because you can't place a camera in the wall. And of course, let me talk about the leap of faith scene. The camera is placed upside down, so as Miles falls, it looks like he is rising. Brilliant idea for a shot showing the rise of Miles Morales as Spider-Man. And that's all I wanted to talk about. I really want to talk about Across the Spiderverse as soon as it's out on digital, because visually, that movie is 10 times crazier than the first. I'm so excited to make that video, and I hope you all stick around for it. Thank you so much for watching.